The doorbell rang at exactly 7:12 p.m., and the dog started growling. Not barking, not excited. A low, deep growl, like he felt something Mia couldn't see. Bolt, the German shepherd, stood frozen at the door. His ears were locked forward, his body stiff, tail twitching like a signal trying to break through. Mia's hand tightened around the edge of the kitchen counter. Because Bolt never acted like this. Not unless something was wrong. The bell rang again. Longer this time. Bolt moved closer to the door, sniffing the bottom edge. Then suddenly, his tail started wagging. Fussed, confused, back and forth between warning and recognition. Mia's heart skipped. "What is it, Bolt?" she whispered. She stepped slowly toward the door, every sound in the house fading behind the pounding in her chest. When she reached the peephole, her breath caught. There was a crate sitting on her porch. Large, wooden, military style. No delivery driver. No truck in sight. Just the crate. And her name written across it in thick black marker. Mia's fingers trembled as she unlocked the door. Bolt pushed past her immediately, nose glued to the edge of the crate, whining now soft, desperate sounds, like he was trying to speak. Then, he barked. Once. Sharp. And started scratching at the wood. Mia stepped closer, her pulse racing. There were small, uneven holes along the side, like someone had punched them through in a hurry. Air holes. Her stomach dropped. She placed her hand against the crate. Warm. And then, a faint sound from inside. A shift. A breath. A knock. Mia stumbled back, her mind spinning, her heart refusing to believe what it already knew. Bolt's tail slammed against the crate wildly now, whining turning into frantic excitement. He knew. Somehow, he knew. Mia's hand slowly reached for the latch. And just before she opened it, everything changed. 6 months earlier, Staff Sergeant George Hayes sat on the tailgate of a dusty military vehicle, staring down at a worn leather dog collar in his hands. Bolt's collar, scratched, faded, still carrying the faintest trace of home. The unit had just come off a long operation. Gear was scattered, voices low, tension still hanging in the air like smoke that hadn't cleared. George leaned back, exhaling slowly. 6 months. That's how long he had until his scheduled return, if everything went right. And lately, nothing had been going right. He turned the collar over in his hands, thumb brushing over the engraved name, Bolt. A small smile broke through the exhaustion. "That dog probably thinks I forgot him," he muttered. But deep down, he knew Bolt hadn't. Dogs like that don't forget. Dogs like that wait. Back home, Mia sat on the living room floor, Bolt's head resting heavily in her lap. The house felt too quiet again. It always did after George's calls ended. Bolt lifted his head suddenly, ears twitching toward the front door. "Mia, notichid." "He's not there, boy," she said softly. But Bolt kept staring, like he was listening to something far away. Something she couldn't hear. George's plan didn't start as something big. At first, it was simple. He just wanted to come home. But then he thought about Mia, about everything she had carried alone. The long nights, the silence, the waiting. He didn't want to just walk through the door. He wanted to give her something she could hold on to during the hardest days. Something that would remind her he was still coming back. So he started sending pieces. Not random, not meaningless. Pieces of him. The first package was small. Inside was Bolt's old training tag. The one George used when Bolt was still a pup. Mia didn't understand it at first, but Bolt did. The moment she opened it, Bolt went wild. Tail wagging, nose glued to the tag, whining with excitement. That was the first time Mia saw it. That look in his eyes. Hope. The second package came with a photo. George and Bolt, covered in mud, laughing. On the back, a single line. Remember where it started. Mia followed that clue. It led her to the old training field just outside town. Nothing was there except a small berry box. Inside it, a letter. George's handwriting. Steady. Familiar. Real. For a while, the clues gave her something to hold on to. A reason to get up. A reason to believe. Each one led to a memory. Each memory brought him closer. But then came the silence. 3 weeks. No calls. No messages. No packages. Nothing. Bolt stopped wagging his tail at the door. He just sat there, waiting. The call came on a gray afternoon. This is regarding Staff Sergeant George Hayes. Mia's world narrowed to the sound of that voice. The unit experienced a comms blackout due to operational security. OPSEC protocol is in effect. We are working to re-establish contact. Mia gripped the phone tighter. Is he okay? A pause. We don't have confirmation at this time. That night, Mia opened the last package. She hadn't touched it before. Didn't want to, because some part of her feared it would be the last piece. Inside was the collar. Bolt's collar. The same one George had been holding months ago. And a letter. But this one felt different. Heavier. Slower. If you're reading this, it means things didn't go the way I planned. Mia's breath caught. I wanted to give you something to follow. Something to remind you that no matter what happens, I was always on my way back to you. Her hand shook. Take care of Bolt. He's stronger than he looks, but he'll need you. A tear fell onto the page. You were never just my home. You were my reason to make it back. Mia didn't finish the letter. She couldn't, because in that moment, it didn't feel like a plan anymore. It felt like goodbye. Days passed, then more. The house fell silent again. Bolt barely moved, just stayed near the door, like he was waiting for something even Mia had given up on. Until 7:12 p.m. Back on the porch, Mia's fingers tightened around the crate latch. Bolt was pacing now, whining, tail hitting the wood over and over again. Inside, another movement. Closer this time. Mia ese bretschuk. George, she whispered, not even realizing she said it. The latch snapped open. The lid creaked. Slow, heavy, and then it lifted. Inside the crate were his combat boots. Worn, dust-covered, real. Mia froze. Her mind struggled to catch up. This wasn't what she expected. Her chest tightened. The letter, the silence, the call, and then Bolt bolted straight past the crate, toward the driveway, barking wildly now, not confused, not scared, certain. Mia turned, heart pounding, and that's when she heard it. A whistle, soft, familiar, the same one George used every time he called Bolt back home. She looked up, and there he was, standing at the edge of the driveway, uniform worn, face thinner, but smiling, alive. Mia couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't think, because everything inside her broke all at once. Bolt hit him first, jumping, whining, spinning, paws against his chest as if trying to confirm he was real. George dropped to his knees, wrapping his arms around the dog, laughing through tears. I miss you too, buddy. I miss you too. Mia took one step, then another. Slow, uncertain, like if she moved too fast, he might disappear. Hey, George said softly, standing up. That one word, it shattered everything she had been holding together. She ran, straight into him. Her arms wrapped around him so tightly, it was like she was anchoring him to the world. You came back, she whispered, her voice breaking. I told you I would, he said. She pulled back slightly, tears streaming down her face. Why 7:12? George smiled. First time we met, you were late. She let out a broken laugh. It was 7:12 when you walked in. And just like that, everything came full circle. Later that night, there were no perfect speeches, no dramatic music, just the quiet sound of plates clinking in the kitchen, Bolt asleep between them, and two people finally not alone anymore. Because sometimes the strongest promises aren't the ones we say out loud. They're the ones we fight to keep no matter how long it takes. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Because some reunions aren't just emotional, they're everything.